नमस्कार, म Dr. Suchana Maratta, Associate Professor, Department of Dermatology in BP Koirala Institute of Health Sciences. Today, I'm going to make you a little bit familiarized about OPD management of common pediatric skin infection. If we talk about common pediatric skin infection, one is bacterial infection. In the bacterial infection, most common one is impetigo, similarly folliculitis, and staphylococcal scalded skin syndrome. Similarly, in viral infection, one is molluscum contagiosum, common wart, and chickenpox. These are common pediatric problems in skin. Similarly, fungal infection comprising of tinea capitis and candidiasis. In parasitic infestation, we'll commonly encounter with scabies and pediculosis. If we talk about bacterial skin infection, impetigo is the most common one. It can be categorized into, classified into bullous impetigo and non-bullous impetigo. Bullous impetigo is caused by Staphylococcus aureus. It can be seen in all age group of children, and morphology-wise, it presents as bulla, vesicle or bulla, which persists for 2-3 days even after appearance. And once it ruptures, there will be thin, flat crusting on the surface. And it rarely has regional lymphadenitis, and any site can be affected. Whereas, in contrast to bullous impetigo, in case of non-bullous impetigo, preschool children and young school children are most commonly affected. And in this case, there will be no formation of bulla. That's why the name is non-bullous impetigo. And in non-bullous impetigo, very thin wall vesicle are there, which are very transient, and they will be seen over the erythematous base, and they will rupture immediately because they are very transient, leaving behind thick yellowish brownish crust, which is classically seen as honey-colored crust. Regional lymphadenitis is very common in case of non-bullous impetigo or impetigo contagiosa. The most common site is perinasal and perianal. If you see in the picture, here in this picture we can appreciate superficial erosion. Okay, there is scaling also, like we can appreciate a fine scaling, a very thin layer of crust, and there are multiple erosions. Whereas if we see in this picture, we can appreciate multiple vesicle as well as bulla. In this particular picture, there are vesicles, bulla, as well as after rupturing of the vesicle and bulla, there are thin crust over these areas. So this is picture of bullous impetigo in child. Similarly, in this another picture, we can appreciate in the perinasal and perioral area there is crusting. Okay, we can appreciate area of crusting, a larger area of crusting, and the crust is characteristically yellowish brown in color, adherent crust, yellowish brown in color. Similarly, other smaller lesions are also there in the other part surrounding the oral area, in the perioral area. This is picture of impetigo contagiosa or non-bullous impetigo. This is how impetigo children presents to us. This is a characteristic photograph. If you talk about the treatment, just regular cleaning with antiseptic may suffice in many conditions where limited disease is there, but we have to add topical fusidic acid or mupirocin twice daily for 7 to 10 days to take care of the condition. But if extensive lesion is there, we need even systemic treatment like flucloxacillin, cloxacillin, etc. But we have to take care of the local resistant pattern of the condition. Okay, because like in our different setup, the sensitivity pattern may be different for the same organism. That should be considered in mind. Here in BPKIHS, we commonly prescribe cefodoxil for this condition depending on our sensitivity pattern of the hospital. This is the same thing. Now another most common condition is folliculitis. In folliculitis also, in case of children, we mostly encounter with superficial folliculitis. The most common site of involvement is scalp and limbs. The causative organism is Staphylococcus aureus. It presents with small follicular papule and pustule which heal within 7 to 10 days duration. For the treatment, we should clean with antiseptic solutions, and we can use topical mupirocin and fusidic acid twice daily. Similarly, again in severe cases, severe involvement, we may have to use oral flucloxacillin, or any other systemic antibiotic depending on the local resistant pattern. Here in this picture, we can appreciate there are multiple bumps, okay? There are multiple papules as well as pustules over the forehead of the child. This is classical presentation of superficial folliculitis in children. So I'll again like to emphasize there are multiple papules, okay? There are pustules. These are presentation of superficial folliculitis in a child. Another condition is another bacterial condition is staphylococcal scalded skin syndrome. Okay, though this is not a OPD presentation, this is actually a dermatological emergency in case of children, but I'd like to put it here because this is again because of Staphylococcus aureus skin infection, and this is almost somewhat similar to bullous impetigo. And so many of the time we may be confused whether this is bullous impetigo or staphylococcal scalded skin syndrome. And if proper care is not taken on time, we may lose the child also. That's why I want to emphasize this. This is very common in less than 6-year children. Again, this is because of Staphylococcus aureus. It presents as red, painful, denuded skin, more pronounced over the flexural area. Fever and irritability will be the associated symptom, and the lesion heal within 7 to 14 days. And another important factor is we may not be able to diagnose by means of bacterial isolation like culture, something like that, because the staphylococcus is not isolable from the blister fluid. It can cause cellulitis pneumonia as its complication, and prognosis is excellent if it is taken care on time. So this is picture of staphylococcal scalded skin syndrome. Here we can appreciate erythematous sheet-like area in the child. There are many sheet-like areas. This is one. Similarly, this is a huge one. Similarly, other multiple focal areas are there, and we can appreciate peeling of skin, like here, scales, larger scales, and peeling of skin we can appreciate. This is a characteristic presentation of staphylococcal scalded skin syndrome, and I'd like to repeat, like these lesions are very tender. Okay, this is how we will be able to identify this condition, and child will be febrile, irritable. Treatment is by means of intravenous flucloxacillin, cloxacillin, or even ceftriaxone, and sometimes even vancomycin intravenous is given, and excellent prognosis is thereafter treatment with these antibiotics. Now I'd like to move towards viral infection. Again, the most common viral infection in pediatric age group is molluscum contagiosum. One of them is molluscum contagiosum. It presents as shiny flesh-colored to pearly white papules. Pearly white, shiny flesh-colored papules, hemispherical in shape, and they have characteristic central umbilication, umbilicated papule with central depression or central umbilication. The most commonly affected areas are face. In face also, periorificial like perioral, periorbital, these sites are most commonly involved. Similarly, perianal area is also another common site of involvement by molluscum contagiosum. Here we can appreciate multiple papules, skin colored to whitish papules, like in this area, just below the oral cavity of the child. In a closure view, we can appreciate central depression, central umbilication, like in this lesion also, and in these many lesions we can appreciate central umbilication. Central umbilication is characteristically found in a little older lesion, whereas in newer lesion, in case of a little new lesion, the central umbilication, like for example in this lesion, we cannot appreciate central umbilication. Here we can appreciate a more pronounced central umbilication with a central cheesy material at the center of the molluscum lesion. For the treatment of molluscum, like in many cases, many of the time, it can have spontaneous resolution also, like within 2 to 3 months of appearance, there can be resolution of the lesion, spontaneous resolution of the lesion may be there. So sometimes we can wait for that also, but if the lesions are increasing, we definitely have to treat the condition. So in that condition, we have to either do needling and removal of the molluscum body, which is present, like as shown in the photograph, the central whitish material that should be removed. And another is we can go for chemical cautery by means of trichloroacetic acid, and even potassium hydroxide can be applied. And sometimes we can just give topical salicylic acid to take care of the molluscum contagiosum, especially in those children who are not allowing to do the procedure because they are little bit painful procedure, like chemical cautery, needling. These all are little bit painful procedure. So if child is not allowing, we can just give topical salicylic acid to take care of the condition. Another common condition in children is verruca, which is also known as common warts. They present with foam papule of 1 to 10 millimeter in size, and they are on morphology, they have got hyperkeratotic surface with a little bit clefting in between, and verrucous surface, hyperkeratotic verrucous surface with clefts in between. And Palmer and plantar lesion, wart lesion, they disrupt the normal line of fingerprint and footprint. Okay, the normal lining of palms and soles will be disrupted by the lesion over palms and soles. And the return of fingerprint is also a sign of resolution of wart. Okay, and sometimes it can be confused commonly with corn. This is one of the commonest differential diagnosis of wart, and many are confused with this. So to differentiate, we can pair a little, we can remove a little bit layer, uppermost layer of the skin, and we can appreciate reddish brown dots in case of wart, whereas that is not found in case of corn. So in this way we can differentiate this common condition wart with corn also. And this reddish brown dot is because of thrombosed capillary loops present in case of the wart, common wart. Here we can see few pictures. This is picture showing wart over the dorsum of hand. There are multiple warts. We can appreciate verrucous hyperkeratotic surface with clefting. These are fine clefts in the lesion. You can appreciate these fine clefts in the lesion. Similarly, another lesion. Okay, this is also on the dorsum of hand. We can appreciate a single wart. Over the sole, this is a wider, larger lesion over the sole of a child. And here also we can appreciate hyperkeratotic surface with little bit fissuring in between. In this picture again we can appreciate another lesion. So if we can zoom this picture, we can appreciate that there is discontinuation of the lining. Okay, there is discontinuation of the sole lines present over the sole, whereas that will not be the condition in case of corn. Similarly, another lesion over the dorsum of the foot. These are common sites of common wart in case of children. Now to treat this condition, the first line recommendation is use of salicylic acid 10 to 20% twice daily for 12 weeks. But because of compliance, because of problem of compliance, because patient may not be using it regularly, we cannot ensure the compliance. It may not be that much useful most of the time. So in that condition, we can go for chemical cautery with trichloroacetic acid. Similarly, we can go for cryotherapy Okay, but cryotherapy may not be available in all setup, and the associated pain with cryotherapy is one of the most limiting factor for using this cryotherapy as treatment modality in many of the time. And another is excision. Sometimes we can even do excision by means of electrocautery, radiocautery, or even simple surgical excision can be done whenever needed. Single, like for example, if single lesion is there, single large lesion, in that condition we can choose these modalities as well. Now coming to another common pediatric viral infection, that is chickenpox. Most of the time, more than 50% infection will occur in less than 5 years of age of a child. It presents with fever, sore throat, malaise, myalgia, and other constitutional symptoms. After the constitutional appearance of constitutional symptom, 1 to 2 days later, crops of papules will appear. Okay, and these crops of papule soon becomes torn into vesicle, and which will be surrounded by a rim of erythema. This vesicle will be initially clear fluid filled, soon turned into turbid, and there will be, after 1 to 2 days, there will be crusting. In the same individual, the important feature here is, in the same individual we can appreciate all type of lesion in different stages of evolution. Like some will be in the papular stage, some will be in the emerging, just arising new vesicle, some are vesicle with the turbid fluid, and sometimes in the crusting stage. Okay, so this is how, this is one of the common clue to find the to diagnose the condition. Like why I want to emphasize this, there are other viral infection which can mimic like chickenpox with vesicobulous eruption. Like for example, hand foot mouth disease is one of them, and this is also very commonly encountered in OPD. But in that condition, in hand foot mouth disease, the lesion is in the same stage. Okay, like all are in the vesicular stage, or all are in the crusting stage, like that. But unlike in chickenpox, what happens in chickenpox is the lesion will be in different stages of evolution. Some are in the papular stage, some are in the early vesicular stage, some are in the late vesicular stage, some are in the crusting stage. So this is one of the diagnostic clue to diagnose chickenpox. And after resolution of these lesions, there will be depressed scar left behind. This is the sequelae of chickenpox. Here in this picture, we can appreciate there are some papules. Okay, there are some early vesicles with clear fluid filled vesicles containing clear fluid surrounding erythema, and some are in the crusting stage, central crusting we can appreciate in this picture. Similarly, in the closer view, like these are papules, okay, these are vesicles, these are vesicles. These 3 vesicles are newly arising vesicles. Similarly, here is also another vesicle, and this vesicle is already in the pustulous stage containing turbid fluid, and this, it seems there is central crusting, and this is going to disappear now. Again, in this picture we can appreciate mainly papular stage, vesicular lesions. Again here in this picture we can appreciate many vesicles. It seems these are near vesicle, and this one is the late vesicle with central crusting. Again, this is the closure view explaining the same thing. Now coming to the treatment, acyclovir 15 mg per kg 5 times a day for 7 days. This is the treatment we should give to the child. Okay, I want to repeat, 15 mg per kg acyclovir 5 times a day for 7 days. Sometimes if lesion is very extensive and the child is very sick, we can go for intravenous acyclovir as well. For that, the dose is 10 mg per kg 8 hourly for 7 days, TDS for 7 days. Along with that, we have to give antipyretic, antihistaminic and other supportive and symptomatic treatment.